Welcome to Freema Audiobooks, where personal growth is built one intentional day at a time. And we're truly glad you are here for an audiobook designed to help you become stronger mentally, emotionally, and internally. If you have ever felt tired of starting over, discouraged by slow progress, or unsure how to stay consistent with self-improvement, this audiobook is for you, because real strength is not created through sudden change, but through small daily actions repeated with patience and purpose. Today's audiobook is titled Grow Stronger Everyday Audiobook English, and it is a calm, practical guide to building inner strength, resilience, discipline, and confidence through daily habits and mindset shifts. This audiobook focuses on mental toughness, emotional resilience, consistency, self-belief, and long-term growth without pressure or burnout. Before we begin, we invite you to subscribe to Freema Audiobooks, like this audiobook, share it with someone who wants to grow stronger from the inside out, and leave a comment telling us where you are. Habits and mindset shifts. This audiobook focuses on mental toughness, emotional resilience, consistency, self-belief, and long-term growth without pressure or burnout. Before we begin, we invite you to subscribe to Freema Audiobooks, like this audiobook, share it with someone who wants to grow stronger from the inside out, and leave a comment telling us where you are, the previous one. So by the end of this audiobook, you will understand not only how to grow stronger every day, but why real strength is built slowly through consistency, patience, and self-respect. Chapter 1. Strength begins within. Understanding what real strength truly is. This chapter is important because many people misunderstand strength as force, toughness, or constant productivity, while true strength is rooted in mindset, emotional resilience, and daily self-control. In this chapter, you will learn what real strength actually means. You will understand why strength is internal before it becomes external. You will discover how mindset shapes resilience. You will learn why consistency matters more than intensity. I understand how self-belief influences endurance. You will see why discipline builds strength gradually. You will learn how emotional regulation supports growth. You will understand why patience is a form of strength. You will gain clarity on inner versus outer power. You will learn why comparison weakens growth. You will understand how self-respect fuels progress. And by the end of this chapter, you will see strength as something you build daily, not something you wait to feel. Real strength begins within because your inner dialogue, beliefs, and emotional responses determine how you handle challenges long before action takes place. Thoughts shape reactions. Reactions shape habits. Habits shape outcomes. If the mind collapses under pressure, action follows. Inner stability supports persistence. Confidence grows internally first. Strength is not loud. Strength is steady. Awareness builds resilience. Calm supports endurance. Inner strength determines external results. Many people believe strength means never feeling tired, afraid, or discouraged, but true strength allows space for difficulty without surrendering direction. Feeling tired is human. Feeling doubt is natural. Feeling fear is normal. Strength is continuing anyway. Strength allows emotion without collapse. Resilience comes from acceptance. Resistance drains energy. Compassion preserves effort. Strength grows through honest acknowledgement. Stability replaces denial. Growth becomes sustainable. Consistency is one of the strongest forms of strength because showing up repeatedly builds endurance that intensity alone cannot create. Intensity fades quickly. Consistency compounds slowly. Daily effort trains discipline. Discipline strengthens identity. Identity supports resilience. Small actions accumulate power. Progress feels subtle at first. Confidence grows gradually. Strength becomes reliable. Consistency outlasts motivation. Repetition builds trust with yourself. Self-belief supports strength because believing you can endure challenges changes how obstacles are interpreted. Challenges become training. Difficulty becomes feedback. Failure becomes learning. Belief fuels perseverance. Doubt magnifies fatigue. Awareness reshapes belief. Evidence builds confidence. Confidence stabilizes effort. Strength deepens with belief. Inner trust supports persistence. Belief grows through action. Discipline builds strength by reducing dependence on mood or external circumstances, allowing progress even on difficult days. Discipline replaces hesitation. Structure supports action. Action builds momentum. Momentum strengthens confidence. Confidence reinforces discipline. Strength becomes automatic. Discipline is gentle firmness. It is not punishment. It is commitment. Discipline protects growth. Strength stabilizes through routine. Emotional regulation plays a critical role in strength. Because unmanaged emotions drain energy and disrupt consistency, emotional awareness reduces reactivity. Calm restores clarity. Clarity improves decisions. Decisions support discipline. Emotional balance preserves effort. Strength includes self-soothing. Regulation prevents burnout. Stability supports growth. Emotional strength protects endurance. Control replaces chaos. Patience is often overlooked as a form of strength, yet impatience destroys progress faster than failure ever could. Impatience creates pressure. Pressure creates exhaustion. Exhaustion leads to quitting. Patience supports sustainability. Slow progress is still progress. Growth respects timing. Strength honors pacing. Endurance thrives with patience. Persistence outlasts urgency. Patience builds lasting resilience. Comparison weakens strength because it shifts focus away from personal progress and replaces it with unrealistic expectations. Comparison distorts reality. It undermines confidence. It fuels dissatisfaction. Awareness restores perspective. Personal growth is unique. Progress is individual. Strength grows inward. Validation becomes internal. Focus returns to effort. Confidence stabilizes. Growth accelerates through self-focus. Ultimately, strength begins within, because mindset, belief, discipline, and emotional balance determine whether progress continues or collapses under pressure. Inner work creates outer results. Consistency builds resilience. Self-respect fuels endurance. Strength becomes an identity. Growth becomes a lifestyle. Challenges become manageable. Progress becomes steady. And once you understand that strength is built daily from the inside out, every step forward becomes an act of quiet power rather than force. Now that you understand that real strength begins internally and is shaped by mindset, belief, and emotional balance, the next step is learning how to build strength through daily habits, because strength grows through what you do consistently, not occasionally. In the next chapter, we will explore how small daily actions quietly create powerful inner strength over time. Chapter 2, Daily Habits that Build Strength, Small Actions that Create Powerful Change. This chapter is important because strength is not built through rare breakthroughs, but through daily habits that slowly reshape discipline, resilience, and confidence. In this chapter, you will learn why habits shape strength. You will understand how small actions compound over time. You will discover why consistency matters more than motivation. You will learn how habits form identity. You will understand why discipline feels hard at first. You will see how routines protect progress. You will learn how to build habits without burnout. You will understand why repetition builds confidence. You will gain clarity on replacing harmful habits. You will learn how habits stabilize emotions. You will understand why daily effort creates resilience. And by the end of this chapter, you will see habits as the foundation of lasting strength. Daily habits shape strength because repeated actions train both the mind and nervous system to respond consistently rather than react impulsively. What you repeat becomes familiar. What is familiar becomes automatic. Automatic behavior requires less effort. Less effort preserves energy. Preserved energy supports endurance. Habits reduce decision fatigue. Reduced fatigue improves discipline. Discipline stabilizes progress. Progress builds confidence. Confidence reinforces habits. This cycle quietly builds strength. Small actions matter because they feel manageable even on difficult days, allowing consistency to survive when motivation disappears. Large goals feel overwhelming. Overwhelm leads to avoidance. Small steps reduce resistance. Reduced resistance increases follow-through. Follow-through builds trust. Trust strengthens self-belief. Belief supports persistence. Persistence builds resilience. Strength grows gradually. Small efforts compound silently. Consistency is more powerful than intensity because intense effort without repetition often leads to burnout rather than growth. Intensity spikes quickly. Energy crashes afterward. Consistency preserves balance. Balance supports longevity. Repetition strengthens neural pathways. Strong pathways create habits. Habits reduce effort. Reduced effort increases sustainability. Sustainability creates strength. Strength becomes reliable. Consistency wins long-term. Habits shape identity because behavior repeated daily influences how you see yourself over time. Acting disciplined builds disciplined identity. Acting calm builds emotional stability. Acting patient builds resilience. Identity reinforces behavior. This feedback loop strengthens commitment. Confidence grows internally. Self-respect increases. Strength becomes part of who you are. Identity-driven habits last longer. Change becomes permanent. Discipline often feels uncomfortable initially because the brain resists unfamiliar patterns, even when they are beneficial. Resistance is natural. Awareness reduces frustration. Persistence retrains the brain. New habits become comfortable. Comfort supports consistency. Discipline becomes lighter. Strength grows quietly. Discomfort fades over time. Effort feels normal. Progress stabilizes. Routines protect habits by anchoring behavior to specific times, cues, or environments, reducing reliance on willpower. Predictable cues trigger action. Action becomes automatic. Automatic behavior conserves energy. Energy supports focus. Focus improves execution. Routines reduce chaos. Stability increases confidence. Strength grows through structure. Discipline becomes dependable. Replacing harmful habits requires understanding their emotional purpose rather than simply trying to eliminate them. Habits serve needs. Awareness reveals those needs. Replacement satisfies needs differently. Suppression increases resistance. Redirection supports change. Gentle replacement works. Consistency reinforces new habits. Strength increases without inner conflict. Balance supports growth. Habits also stabilize emotions because predictable behavior creates a sense of control and safety within the nervous system. Stability reduces anxiety. Reduced anxiety improves focus. Focus supports discipline. Discipline strengthens confidence. Emotional balance preserves energy. Strength grows steadily. Calm supports resilience. Habits create internal order. Order strengthens endurance. Ultimately, daily habits build strength because they turn effort into identity and discipline into stability. Small actions accumulate power. Repetition builds resilience. Consistency creates confidence. Strength becomes reliable. Growth becomes natural. And when habits are aligned with values, growing stronger every day becomes inevitable rather than forced. With daily habits supporting your growth, the next step is learning how to grow stronger through challenges, because difficulty is not an obstacle to strength, but the environment in which strength is developed. In the next chapter, we will explore how challenges shape resilience when approached with the right mindset. Chapter 3. Growing stronger through challenges, turning difficulty into strength. This chapter is important because challenges are unavoidable, and without the right perspective they drain energy. But with the right mindset they build resilience and inner power. In this chapter, you will learn why challenges are necessary for growth. You will understand how adversity builds strength. You will understand why strength is earned, not given. And by the end of this chapter, you will see challenges as training rather than punishment. Challenges build strength because they require effort beyond comfort, forcing adaptation, learning, and growth. Comfort maintains current capacity. Challenge expands it. Resistance strengthens endurance. Avoidance weakens resilience. Awareness reframes difficulty. Difficulty becomes opportunity. Opportunity encourages effort. Effort builds capability. Capability increases confidence. Confidence supports future challenges. Strength compounds through adversity. Perception determines whether challenges feel overwhelming or empowering, because interpretation shapes emotional response and behavior. Seeing difficulty as threat creates fear. Fear drains energy. Seeing difficulty as training creates focus. Focus supports action. Action builds momentum. Momentum reduces fear. Awareness shifts perception. Perspective strengthens control. Strength grows through reframing. Discomfort is an essential part of growth because expansion always requires leaving familiar patterns. Discomfort signals change. Change builds capacity. Capacity strengthens resilience. Avoiding discomfort limits progress. Awareness reduces resistance. Acceptance allows adaptation. Strength emerges gradually. Comfort zones expand. Endurance improves. Challenges reveal hidden capability because pressure often uncovers strengths that remain dormant in ease. Difficulty demands creativity. Creativity builds confidence. Effort reveals potential. Awareness replaces self-doubt. Capability becomes visible. Strength becomes evident. Experience builds trust. Trust supports persistence. Resilience strengthens through proof. Staying grounded under pressure requires emotional regulation and patience rather than forceful control. Calm reduces panic. Panic distorts perception. Awareness restores balance. Balance improves decisions. Control returns gradually. Strength remains intact. Grounded responses preserve energy. Energy supports endurance. Stability strengthens resilience. Learning from struggle transforms challenges into long-term assets rather than temporary obstacles. Reflection extracts insight. Insight improves future responses. Mistakes become instruction. Growth accelerates. Awareness increases. Confidence stabilizes. Strength becomes refined. Wisdom grows through difficulty. Endurance develops through repeated exposure to manageable challenges rather than overwhelming pressure. Gradual difficulty builds stamina. Sudden overload causes collapse. Balance supports growth. Awareness guides pacing. Strength develops steadily. Patience preserves effort. Endurance outlasts intensity. Ultimately, growing stronger through challenges means recognizing that difficulty is not the enemy of growth, but the source of it. Resistance builds resilience. Effort builds capacity. Experience builds confidence. Strength becomes earned. Growth becomes meaningful. And when challenges are embraced intentionally, every difficult moment becomes an opportunity to grow stronger every single day. Now that you understand how challenges actively shape resilience and inner power, the next step is learning how to strengthen yourself emotionally. Because emotional stability determines whether strength is sustained or slowly drained. In the next chapter, we will explore how emotional strength is built, protected, and reinforced daily. Chapter 4. Emotional Strength, Staying Steady in an Unstable World. This chapter is important because emotional instability quietly weakens progress, while emotional strength allows you to remain steady, clear, and resilient, regardless of circumstances. In this chapter, you will learn what emotional strength truly means. You will understand how emotions influence behavior. You will discover why emotional reactions drain energy. You will learn how emotional regulation builds endurance. You will understand why sensitivity is not weakness. You will see how awareness stabilizes emotions. You will learn how to respond instead of react. You will understand why emotional balance supports discipline. You will gain clarity on managing stress calmly. You will learn how emotional strength protects consistency. You will understand why emotional growth supports confidence. And by the end of this chapter, you will see emotional strength as a core pillar of daily resilience. Emotional strength begins with awareness, because emotions cannot be managed if they are ignored or misunderstood. Feelings arise naturally. Suppression increases pressure. Pressure leads to outbursts. Awareness creates space. Space allows regulation. Regulation restores calm. Calm preserves energy. Energy supports consistency. Emotional awareness reduces confusion. Stability improves gradually. Strength grows internally. Many people believe emotional strength means never feeling upset, but real strength allows emotions to exist without allowing them to control behavior. Emotions are signals. Signals provide information. Over-identifying with emotion causes reaction. Awareness creates distance. Distance restores choice. Choice supports discipline. Emotional acceptance prevents escalation. Stability replaces resistance. Strength becomes flexible. Control improves calmly. Reacting emotionally drains energy because impulsive responses often lead to regret, conflict, and distraction. Reaction accelerates stress. Stress narrows thinking. Narrow thinking weakens judgment. Awareness slows response. Slower responses improve decisions. Decisions protect progress. Emotional regulation preserves energy. Energy fuels growth. Stability supports endurance. Sensitivity does not weaken strength, because emotional awareness increases adaptability, and managing stress is essential for emotional strength, because chronic stress erodes patience, focus, and motivation. Stress activates survival mode. Survival mode narrows attention. Narrow attention reduces clarity. Awareness calms the nervous system. Calm restores perspective. Perspective improves control. Emotional strength protects energy. Stability increases through regulation. Responding instead of reacting is a skill developed through practice rather than willpower. Pausing interrupts impulse. Reflection improves clarity. Intentional response reduces regret. Discipline strengthens. Emotional control becomes habitual. Strength grows quietly. Stability becomes reliable. Emotional balance supports consistency because stable emotions reduce dramatic fluctuations in effort and motivation. Extreme emotions disrupt routine. Balance preserves rhythm. Rhythm supports habits. Habits reinforce discipline. Discipline strengthens confidence. Emotional stability sustains growth. Ultimately, emotional strength allows you to remain grounded regardless of circumstances, protecting progress from being derailed by temporary feelings. Awareness replaces chaos. Regulation replaces reaction. Balance replaces exhaustion. Strength becomes steady, and when emotional strength is developed daily, resilience becomes a permanent part of who you are. With emotional strength stabilizing your inner world, the next step is learning how to build mental toughness, because strength must also exist in your thoughts, focus, and inner dialogue to withstand pressure over time. In the next chapter, we will explore how mental strength is developed through discipline and perspective. Chapter 5. Mental Toughness. Training your mind to endure and adapt. This chapter is important because mental weakness often causes people to quit long before their limits are reached, while mental toughness allows steady progress even under stress, uncertainty, or fatigue. In this chapter, you will learn what mental toughness really is. You will understand how thoughts influence endurance. You will discover why discomfort tests commitment. You will learn how to train mental resilience. You will understand why patience strengthens toughness. You will see how inner dialogue shapes persistence. You will learn how to stay steady under pressure. You will understand why mental discipline matters daily. You will gain clarity on reframing difficulty. You will learn how mental strength protects confidence. You will understand why toughness is built, not inherited. And by the end of this chapter, you will see mental strength as a skill you can train consistently. Mental toughness begins with the ability to stay present with difficulty rather than escaping discomfort immediately. Discomfort signals growth. Avoidance limits capacity. Awareness reframes pain. Pain becomes training. Training strengthens endurance. Endurance builds confidence. Confidence reinforces effort. Mental toughness grows gradually. Persistence replaces avoidance. Strength becomes internalized. Thoughts shape endurance because the mind interprets difficulty either as danger or as challenge. Threat perception creates fear. Fear drains energy. Challenge perception creates focus. Focus supports action. Awareness shifts interpretation. Perspective restores control. Mental clarity improves. Toughness grows through reframing. Patience is essential for mental toughness, because impatience creates frustration that undermines persistence. Frustration accelerates quitting. Patience preserves effort. Slow Progress remains progress. Endurance thrives with patience. Mental strength develops quietly. Awareness supports acceptance. Strength grows without force. Inner dialogue plays a critical role in mental toughness, because the words you repeat internally become the lens through which effort is evaluated. Harsh self-talk weakens resolve. Supportive dialogue strengthens persistence. Awareness reveals patterns. Replacement builds resilience. Mental discipline stabilizes effort. Staying steady under pressure requires regulating thoughts rather than reacting to emotional intensity. Pressure narrows focus. Awareness widens perspective. Calm restores judgment. Judgment supports action. Mental strength protects progress. Stability increases through practice. Mental discipline strengthens confidence because each moment of endurance proves capability rather than weakness. Evidence builds belief. Belief sustains effort. Effort reinforces identity. Identity stabilizes discipline. Mental strength compounds over time. Ultimately, mental toughness allows you to continue growing even when conditions are imperfect. Motivation is low, or progress feels slow. Endurance replaces urgency. Perspective replaces panic. Discipline replaces doubt. Strength becomes dependable. And when mental toughness is trained daily, growing stronger every day becomes a natural outcome rather than a struggle. Now that you have strengthened your emotional stability and mental toughness, the next step is learning how to build consistency and discipline, because strength grows not from occasional effort, but from showing up repeatedly even when conditions are imperfect. In the next chapter, we will explore how discipline becomes the engine that turns strength into lasting progress. Chapter 6. Discipline and Consistency, Becoming Strong Through Daily Commitment. This chapter is important because discipline is what transforms potential into progress, allowing the strength to grow steadily rather than relying on motivation or mood. In this chapter, you will learn why discipline matters more than motivation. You will understand how consistency builds inner power. You will discover why discipline feels difficult initially. You will learn how structure supports strength. You will understand why small commitments matter. You will see how discipline builds self-trust. You will learn how routines protect progress. You will understand why discipline creates freedom. You will gain clarity on avoiding burnout. You will learn how discipline stabilizes growth. You will understand why consistency compounds strength. And by the end of this chapter, you will see discipline as an act of self. Discipline begins with commitment to small daily actions, because consistency trains the mind and body to act regardless of fluctuating emotions. Motivation changes daily. Discipline remains steady. Small actions reduce resistance. Reduced resistance increases follow-through. Follow-through builds confidence. Confidence reinforces discipline. Discipline becomes automatic. Strength grows quietly. Identity shifts through repetition. Reliability replaces intention. Progress stabilizes. Consistency builds strength because repeated effort reinforces neural pathways that make behavior easier over time. Each repetition strengthens habit. Habits reduce effort. Reduced effort preserves energy. Energy supports endurance. Endurance builds resilience. Resilience, it strengthens confidence. Confidence fuels consistency. This cycle compounds strength gradually. Discipline often feels uncomfortable at first because it challenges familiar patterns and comfort zones. Resistance is natural. Awareness reduces frustration. Persistence retrains behavior. New routines become familiar. Familiarity reduces effort. Discipline becomes lighter. Strength grows beneath awareness. Progress feels stable. Structure supports discipline by removing uncertainty and reducing the number of decisions required each day. Clear routines guide action. Predictability reduces stress. Stress drains strength. Structure preserves energy. Energy supports focus. Focus improves execution. Discipline thrives within structure. Small commitments matter because they are sustainable even during difficult periods, allowing progress to continue without collapse. Large demands overwhelm. Small steps encourage consistency. Consistency sustains growth. Strength accumulates quietly. Confidence grows incrementally. Stability replaces extremes. Discipline builds self-trust because keeping promises to yourself reinforces belief in your reliability and capability. Follow-through creates evidence. Evidence strengthens belief. Belief supports endurance. Endurance deepens discipline. Self-trust stabilizes growth. Avoiding burnout is essential because discipline without balance leads to exhaustion rather than strength. Rest supports recovery. Recovery preserves consistency. Balance sustains effort. Awareness guides pacing. Strength grows steadily. Ultimately, discipline and consistency transform strength from occasional effort into a dependable way of living. Commitment replaces hesitation. Structure replaces chaos. Confidence replaces doubt. And when discipline becomes habitual, growing stronger every day becomes inevitable. With discipline anchoring your growth, the next step is learning how to adapt and evolve, because strength must remain flexible to survive change rather than becoming rigid. In the next chapter, we will explore how adaptability strengthens resilience and long-term growth. Chapter 7. Adaptability and growth becoming strong through change. This chapter is important because life constantly changes, and strength that cannot adapt eventually breaks under pressure. In this chapter, you will learn why adaptability matters. You will understand how change challenges identity. You will discover why resistance weakens strength. You will learn how flexibility supports resilience. You will understand why growth requires adjustment. You will see how learning strengthens adaptability. You will learn how to stay grounded during change. You will understand why openness preserves strength. You will gain clarity on responding rather than resisting. You will learn how adaptability builds confidence. You will understand why evolution sustains progress. And by the end of this chapter, you will see adaptability as a form of strength. Adaptability strengthens resilience because it allows you to adjust behavior, mindset, and expectations rather than breaking under unexpected circumstances. Change disrupts comfort. Comfort resists disruption. Awareness softens resistance. Flexibility restores balance. Balance preserves energy. Energy supports endurance. Strength survives through adjustment. Adaptability keeps growth alive. Resistance to change drains strengths because fighting reality consumes energy without producing progress. Denial increases stress. Stress weakens clarity. Awareness restores acceptance. Acceptance allows learning. Learning fuels adaptation. Strength increases through understanding. Flexibility reduces exhaustion. Learning plays a central role in adaptability because knowledge allows new strategies to replace outdated ones. Curiosity keeps the mind open. Open minds adjust faster. Adjustment improves outcomes. Growth continues. Strength evolves. Awareness supports learning. Learning stabilizes confidence. Staying grounded during change requires emotional regulation and patience rather than control or force. Calm reduces panic. Panic narrows options. Awareness widens perspective. Perspective supports choice. Choice preserves strength. Stability returns gradually. Adaptability builds confidence because surviving change proves capability rather than fragility. Experience reinforces trust. Trust supports courage. Courage encourages exploration. Strength expands through experience. Ultimately, adaptability allows strength to evolve alongside life rather than remaining fixed and vulnerable. Flexibility replaces rigidity. Learning replaces fear. Growth becomes continuous, and, when adaptability is practiced daily, strength becomes resilient rather than brittle. As we reach the final chapter, it is time to integrate everything into a clear vision of long-term inner strength. Because true strength is not temporary improvement, but a lifelong way of living with resilience, clarity, and self-respect. Chapter 8. Living Strong, Making Strength a Lifelong Practice. This final chapter is important because growing stronger every day is not about reaching a final destination, but about sustaining balance, confidence, and resilience across all stages of life. In this chapter, you will learn how strength becomes identity. You will understand why patience sustains growth. You will discover how balance protects resilience. You will learn why self-respect fuels endurance. You will understand how reflection supports progress. You will see how strength influences life satisfaction. You will learn how calm supports power. You will understand why inner strength outlasts external success. You will gain clarity on lifelong habits. You will learn why peace matters more than force. You will understand how strength supports freedom. And by the end of this chapter, you will see strength as a way of living. Living strong means aligning daily actions with values, allowing strength to grow quietly through consistency rather than pressure. Alignment reduces conflict. Conflict drains energy. Harmony preserves energy. Harmony preserves effort. Strength becomes natural. Daily choices reinforce identity. Confidence stabilizes. Patience sustains growth because long-term strength develops gradually through repeated effort rather than dramatic change. Slow progress remains progress. Acceptance prevents frustration. Calm supports endurance. Strength deepens with time. Balance protects resilience because extremes lead to exhaustion while moderation sustains consistency. Rest restores energy. Energy supports focus. Focus supports discipline. Balance preserves strength. Self-respect fuels endurance because honoring limits, values, and needs prevents burnout and resentment. Respect stabilizes effort. Effort becomes sustainable. Strength remains intact. Ultimately, living strong means choosing resilience, awareness, and consistency daily, regardless of circumstances. Strength becomes identity. Growth becomes continuous. Confidence becomes stable. And when strength is lived rather than forced, growing stronger every day becomes a natural outcome of how you choose to live. In Grow Stronger Everyday Audiobook English, you have learned how inner strength is built through mindset, habits, challenges, emotional balance, mental toughness, discipline, adaptability, and lifelong practice. This audiobook is not about becoming perfect, but about becoming resilient, steady, and confident through daily intentional effort. If this audiobook inspired you or helped you reflect, we invite you to subscribe to Framer audiobooks like this audiobook, share it with someone who wants to grow stronger, and leave a comment telling us which chapter resonated with you the most. Thank you for listening to free more audiobooks, and remember that real strength is not built in a single moment, but through the quiet decision to keep growing every single day.